Hi, my name is Maurice Strickland. I'm working on a project. My project is based on the Bronx High School orchard. I've been here for 4 years. I will be the first student that has ever done and completed a project about the garden and orchard. So please be respectful and sit back and enjoy the video. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Juan Benitez. I'm the internship coordinator as well as the parent coordinator here at the Bronx High School.
So Juan, how do you feel about the orchard?
I think that the orchard at the Bronx Guild High School, along with the students and especially Bill, our science teacher, is a phenomenal place to be. I can't wait to see what it looks like in about 20 years when those trees are fully in bloom and producing fruit for the entire community, I would say, or at least I'd like to think that it would feed many people in our community. I think that the orchard, aside from looking beautiful in the summer with all the fruit, will look phenomenal in the spring with all the blooms that are on it. And it's, you don't expect to see something like that in the South Bronx. And I think it's just a marvelous oasis that we're developing here for the people in this community especially.
Did you work on it?
I worked a little bit on it. I go out there, I document via photography. I planted 1 or 2 trees, but for the most part, I think it's important that our students really get hands dirty in the process, because it allows our students to really know where our food comes from, or at least some of the food. For example, like the chickens and the peaches that will be growing out there pretty soon, I remember in the Bronx Guild Garden, students not wanting to eat any of the tomatoes because they said that the tomatoes looked dirty because they were growing in the dirt. That they'd rather get them from the supermarket. That didn't make any sense to me. But then again, that was years ago. Now we have students actually planting all kinds of things and benefiting from what they plant. And they taste better.
They do. What are your thoughts about the garden?
I think that personally for me, our garden is a magical space. There are so many things happening out there. I personally have been documenting along with another one of the Bronx Guild students. His name is Jose, who's interning in the garden as well. We've been documenting a lot of the wildlife that's coming through the garden. When the garden was a manicured space, you hardly saw any kind of creatures in there. A couple of sparrows, a couple of robins, certainly a lot of squirrels. Now, one of the things that we're looking at in the garden, we've documented this year alone over 60 species of birds that are flying through. Some of these birds are flying in from as far away as Europe and to Antarctica. And that's something special to say about our garden, that it's attracting all this kind of wildlife. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. What do you dislike about it?
I dislike the fact that many of our teachers are not utilizing the space. I don't know if it's because they don't know how to use the space. And if that's the case, we have certainly a terrific science teacher who knows quite a bit about it, who's helping to maintain it. I think that if teachers were able to go down there and do some creative writing, it would benefit our students. It gets them out of the environment, being behind 4 walls. I wish we had a setup of some sort, kind of like a stage, because then we can do an open mic night or even an open mic afternoon in the shade.
That would be cool.
That would be terrific. That's the only thing I don't like about it, that I think is missing a couple of things. Aside from the garden itself, I think it's a terrific space. I love it.
What is it? Is it fun working there, and why?
I love going to the garden because when you're down in the garden, you forget about all the traffic that's around the outside of the garden and all the people walking past. At the moment, it feels like you're almost in the middle of a jungle, and it's terrific because of all the things that are in there. And I know that many of our students like it as well, because I see students in there all the time on their own without being told to be in there. And it's something wonderful to observe, that nobody's destroying anything. Everybody's helping to take care of it. So it belongs to our students and the people in the community. We've had people in the community call the cops on people trying to jump over the fence to let us know, listen, I saw somebody jumping over the fence trying to steal some stuff, and they've called the cops on them.
Wow.
So that's excellent. And they protect it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
Hey, you too.
Hello, my name is Marquise Harrigan. I'm a 12th grader at the Bronx High School.
How do you feel about the orchard?
I feel like the orchard is a good way for students to get involved in the community and show that we have a green thumb side of us.
Did you work on it?
Yes, I helped plant a few trees. Actually made a plot of my own, planted some vegetables, some flowers.
Good. What are your thoughts about the garden?
I feel like the garden is a place for the Bronx Guild students to, learn about a lot of different types of organisms and environments and habitats that go on within our community. Because the garden withholds a lot of nature things that you can't see anywhere else.
What you dislike about it?
What I dislike, the fact that it's a lot of dirt. I don't like the dirt.
My name is Wyatt Matthews. I'm a second-year teacher here at the Bronx Guild. I'm teaching seniors, but it's my second year here, and it's been nice to see the Orchard Project from its inception since I've been around.
Hi. Alright, how do you feel about the orchard?
I love the Orchard for being this kind of magnetic space in our community. I know that, as Juan was saying, birds come from all over the world and stop off, but it also kind of has that effect on humans around here. It's become kind of a focal point for news media interest, obviously community interest. So yeah, I'm a fan of it in that we're making honey and eggs and bok choy and all these things that we would otherwise miss if it weren't for the Orchard and the Garden Project. It's like our own little central park, and I think it's something that we can be really proud of.
Did you work on it?
I've only worked on it... No, actually no. I mean, I've worked on it with moral support, but I haven't actually been the one out there digging in the trenches for the garden beds.
What are your thoughts about the garden?
I love it. I'd like to see it proceed. I'm invested in it now. I think that was part of the vision, is that once people realize it's there and they can connect in some way, I have some plants and I'm just waiting for them to come to fruition, and I'm invested because my students are invested. So I've been eating from it, but now it's not just a one-way street. Having been here for a while now, giving some input, I can see how that it's really serving us, and on a social level too. Like, I can hang out with Bill and we can talk about, we should grow hops, or we should do something with this honey that we've been collecting, and things like that, which have become these fun community projects all of a sudden. So it's something that we can tap into, which is really unique.
What you dislike about it?
I don't think there's anything I really dislike about it. It's all pretty new and exciting and evolving. So, I haven't seen any failures there. But I'm sure that there are things that we'll realize as it goes along. There are things that can be done better. But right now it's very grassroots, literally. All the students and Bill's the center of that. But I think I'll wait another year before I'm critical at all.
Is it fun working there, and why?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've barely got my own hands dirty, but I love just going there and interacting with the chickens. But I also agree with Juan that I think we could spend so much more time utilizing the garden and working in it. As an English teacher, I'm, of course, sort of tempted to say, I see it as a space to inspire writing, or as kind of a place for community, and it's kind of like this metaphor for us, maybe. But yeah, I really want to just go out there and read plays in the garden, and I plan, now that I've seen this space and what it has to offer, it's easy to ignore it, even though it's in our backyard. I'm definitely gonna utilize it and work in it in my own way. As an English teacher, I'm not the science teacher that's teaching you plant biology, but I think there's a lot we can still learn on sort of like the linguistic level and the spiritual, emotional level, all these things that go into your writing, are really inspired by that place. So,
Thank you.
no problem.
Hi, my name is Jay. I'm a 12th grader at the Bronx High School.
How do you feel about the orchard?
The orchard was a great way for us to, get a stress reliever. We, planted trees. I did most of the pick action to, dig a hole, and it was pretty good.
Did you work on it?
Sure did. A lot of fun too.
What are your thoughts about the garden?
The garden, especially with the chickens, is a lot of fun. Great experience.
What do you dislike about it?
All the hard work and weather we had to do in.
Is it fun working there, and why?
It is. It's very fun. I'm there with my classmates, my friends, my mentor. He's like the best mentor ever.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sam Decker. I'm the principal of the Bronx Guild High School.
Sam, how do you feel about the orchard?
I love the orchard. I think it's a real benefit to the school. I think it's a great benefit to the Bronx. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Did you work on it?
Yes and no. I worked on it by helping Bill get the resources he needed, including the time he needed to get it going, and permission to use the land, but I didn't really plant any trees.
What are your thoughts about the garden?
I love the garden. I think it is a great resource. I love going down there every summer and getting all those vegetables and tomatoes. I love the chickens, the bees. I just think it's a really wonderful use of that space.
What do you dislike about it?
I don't dislike anything about it. I think it's great.
Is it fun working there, and why?
It's really fun to work in the garden or anytime that you're working land, and anytime you grow anything. I mean, it's kind of amazing if you think about it, that you put these little tiny seeds in the ground, and then a couple of months later you've got enough food to keep yourself happy and healthy all summer long. And you get to watch it grow, you get to watch it die down in the fall. It's a really wonderful thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Bill Lynham, and I'm a science specialist / science teacher here at the Bronx Guild High School in Bronx, New York.
So, Bill, how do you feel about the orchard?
I feel very strongly about the orchard. We put a lot of work into the orchard starting last year, about a year ago, April. We've planted approximately 148 trees up to date. We did a major planting in September and October with about 75 seniors. We have a huge investment, and to this date, there's a lot of maintenance going on out there. Right in this moment, we're looking for people to work over the summer, hopefully get paid for that. I think it's a real game changer here at the Bronx Guild. It's a game changer here in the neighborhood. A lot of the people that live here locally, they've shown their appreciation. They've come up, they've talked to students, they've mentioned to me how happy they are that we came in and took over that space and planted those trees. In addition, we sort of opened that up to the Guild in terms of gardening, and we set up about 25 4x4 beds, salad beds, that the seniors have put quite a bit of work into. And we'll continue to work out there and cultivate more projects. We got, looking towards the future, we got grapes and raspberries and black and red currants that we plan on putting out there, lots of bushes, maybe a butterfly garden or two. Oh, and we put a beehive in there about 2 weeks ago. So it's a space that's really in development. The orchard was the sort of the kickoff point, and we're just going to keep going with this, see how far we can get, and create a little slice of paradise out there.
Did you work on it?
Didn't I just say that?
Hey. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there's been a lot of work. Not only me, but my students, the seniors in particular. Although we've had some of the other crews have been out there working pretty diligently, putting in a tree here and there. But I'd have to say that this is really a legacy from the senior class 2013 Bronx Guild. They've done the bulk of the work out there. And there's a lot of digging, a lot of sifting rock and debris out of the soil, and Anybody that was out there can attest to the hard work and sweat that went into that piece of land.
What are your thoughts about the garden?
My thoughts about the garden are very similar to my thoughts about the orchard. The garden out here by the chicken coop is, we put a lot of time and energy into that as well. Probably not so much as we have in previous years because now we got the orchard to take care of. I feel that it's really a showpiece for not only for the Bronx Guild but for the campus. It gets a lot of attention with the bees and the chickens and all the interesting plantings that we put out there and continue to put out there. I think it's something that people notice and it makes you feel good. You know, you hear that rooster first thing in the morning. Well, our roosters crow day in and day out, all night long probably too. It brings up for a lot of people, it brings up certain emotions, and it brings up feelings of nature, being down on the farm, and the good old life, sort of.
What do you dislike about it?
I could say that I dislike the fact that it requires so much attention, and that I'm here 7 days a week, and a lot of the summer tending to business over here. I could say I dislike that, but I don't really dislike it. If I really disliked it, I would disengage from it. But I'm not about to do that. I think it's a worthwhile project, and with the time commitment and all the labor involved, I think at the end of the day, it just makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like we've accomplished something.
Is it fun working there with your students, and why?
Yeah, I think it's really, above all else, I think it's a great opportunity to work with students and get to know students. If you were out there and would get to hear the banter that goes on out there between me, we work as, I shout and I bark a lot out there, but, we work as equals. Everybody's putting in hard work, and a lot of interesting conversations get initiated. A lot of good jokes, a lot of laughs, a lot of emotion, and I think at the end of the day, the kids that have put in the work out there, they're going to, moving forward in their lives, and they're not going to forget it. It's one of those experiences that they're going to look back on, and they're going to chuckle. They're going to have a good feeling inside, just thinking back to the days when they were doing a lot of hard, heavy work out in the garden and the orchard.
Thank you for your time.